Yo YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy SalvationsElite, and we are back with another video, guys. And today we are talking about CWL London, finally getting to talking about the Pro League again. It's been a little bit since we talked about it, and breaking down what happened in London and what the CWL is going to be like moving forward. We've got a few weeks to wait until the next event, unfortunately, which is in June, like 5 weeks from now, is CWL Anaheim. So there's a lot of times for updates to happen for Call of Duty, obviously, lots of time for controversy to kick in and teams to discuss what went down in London. So first of all, we're going to be doing a Learn from the Pros this week. I'm going to be working on it probably right after this video goes up. I'm going to be working on it, trying to work on it tomorrow. Hopefully it'll go up Thursday night. And just Learn from the Pros, breaking down one of the games from London. Probably either going to be the winners final or the finals. I'm not sure which one yet. So if you guys have a preference, fire away down below which game you guys want to see. And then we're going to be, moving forward. I got 10 days left till I graduate college, which is a wild time. So we'll get a few more videos out before then. Then I'll be heading back home and getting situated there. So probably a little bit of a lull in like 2 weeks for maybe a week or so for videos. And then we're going like full-fledged all in on YouTube and seeing what we can do together this summer. So a lot's gonna be changing. I'm gonna do a full-on update video like near the end of next week, talking about the plans and everything we're gonna be doing. Also, community tournament update. I'm aiming for June 1st for the next community tournament. So obviously the last two have gone so well, I can't wait to do another one, and I'm gonna be aiming for June 1st for that tournament. So just keep that in mind. I'll probably post that around 10 days before the tournament, and just to like officially announce it, going through the rules and everything, as you guys know and are used to at this point. So finally, jumping into actual reactions from London. I think we're gonna start off with 100 Thieves because, I mean, they won the tournament. You got to give them a little bit of credit. We'll start off with them. I mean, well, first of all, the crowd was amazing. I mean, come on. The crowd was awesome. Man, you Europeans, man, you bring it, man. I appreciate it. It's obviously tons of fun to watch with the chants going on in the background. That European chant culture, man, it works so well with Call of Duty. Just like in soccer, sorry, Europeans, I know, football, but like, in soccer, it's a slower paced game. You have to enjoy the beauty of the game, obviously, and the chanting works so well in soccer. It's kind of the same thing with Call of Duty. I mean, during hardpoints, during controls, even during search and destroys, the chants make a lot of sense before the end of the rounds, and it works well. So, I really like it. I would love to see something like that at more American events. Who knows? Who knows where that could go? But regardless, you guys brought it in London. If any of you guys were there, shout out to you guys. Also, a side note, a few of you guys asked me if I was there, but MLG subcontracts out all of our jobs during the event. So no, I was not there for London events. I mean, so I was not there, no, but I will be at Anaheim. So if you guys are gonna be there, definitely hit me up. So anyway, 100 Thieves absolutely dominated the event, man. They wholeheartedly deserved to win the event. They played fantastic all the way through. Come on, they were 10-1 in map count. That was kind of like the stat going around on Twitter. They were 10-1 in map count in the championship bracket. And also there's another stat that JP tweeted out. Shout out to JP. But they were the first team in over 3 years to win a tournament without having a winning record in search and destroy, which, I mean, in itself is wild. And I think the last few teams to do it, he said, were Rise in Black Ops 3 and OpTic in AW. So I mean, that's pretty insane. And I honestly do think it kind of shows the meta or the mindset of teams kind of moving forward now in Call of Duty, where, I mean, the saying used to always be search and destroy wins championships, but it really doesn't. It doesn't win championships. Obviously, it's beneficial to be good at all the game modes, like, duh, obviously. But at the end of the day, you can literally never win a search and destroy, and you could win a tournament. Like, that's just how it is. There's 3 respawns in a best of 5, and there's 2 searches. So like, you don't have to win search to be the best, as long as you can win the respawns. And 100 Thieves kind of went with that mentality. It seemed like it does bring up an interesting topic of whether or not we're gonna see like less and less search and destroy practice from the pros. I mean, they already don't practice it that much anyway, because they don't like scrimming it, because they don't want to give up their strats. It's more of a situation where teams have their own strats. They go into each round with their own set in place strats, and you don't get to see much of it, up until that point when they actually use it in tournaments. And to me, it's kind of like the NFL, where in the NFL, defense wins championships, sure, but it really doesn't. If you score points, you're gonna win the game. And it's kind of the same train of thought with this. If you win the respawns, you're gonna win the series. So I don't know, it's for those of you who love search and destroy, it might come as hard news. But at the end of the day, respawn's more important, and it's been more important for years in Call of Duty, and just recently I think teams are kind of really starting to prioritize that. And it's weird because like the online Call of Duty competing culture when it comes to game battles and everything is based around like search and destroy a lot of the times, not as much variant, which is weird. It's always been weird to me considering the pro scene and ranked play and competitive has a more of an emphasis on respawn. So I just went to like a Call of Duty analysis there, but regardless, I do think respawn is more important than search and destroy moving forward, and you guys need to make sure that that's what you're focusing on when you guys are practicing together. So I mean, overall 100 Thieves is undoubtedly the best team right now in the CWL, and when you got Priesta, Kenny, and Slasher doing their thing like that, and then with Enable using his, you know, IGL, his leadership in game to their advantage and using it really well, I mean, that's where they've been excelling. Okay, let's just say this: if 100 Thieves wouldn't have won this event, people would have been looking right at Enable. I mean, when it comes to kills, I know his EKIA to death ratio didn't show it in game, but those leaderboards at the top of the screen were showing that Enable was what, 1 in 16 or something like that in one of the hard points. I can't remember exactly which one, but it was 1 in 16 in one of the hard points. I mean, he was full on support mode this tournament, which it worked for him. They won the tournament. I mean, it's the same type of situation where you look at OpTic and where players were knocking on Karma for having bad stats or whatever. There's at a certain point, the leadership and the ability to play objective, be in the right positions for search and destroys, direct in game is what's so important, and Enable obviously has taken up a lot of those responsibilities. Someone's got to bait for the insanely talented gunsters, gunnies. Like when you got Octane, someone can bait for him. I mean, that's a situation where he shines, and I think that was a big part of why he didn't necessarily perform as well as people wanted him to perform on OpTic, because they didn't have that support guy to be there to help feed his godlike gunny. Oh, and also like the whole Kenny situation, like at the beginning of the game where he was a SOG and everyone was dogging on him for trying to be a Maddox. We're seeing now that the meta is changing. Almost all teams are trying to run 3 Maddoxes now, and I mean, come on, it's working, obviously. And 100 Thieves is better at it than anyone because they've been doing it longer than anyone, basically. Not to mention, 100 Thieves was playing incredibly well at Fort Worth, and then Priest had the whole sickness thing where he threw up on stage or whatever. So like 100 Thieves has been on a roll for a while now. They just got a little bit held up by that. I mean, no one's going to excel in that situation. But anyway, we talked about 100 Thieves too long. Let's move on. Let's just go down the leaderboards here. EUnited. Simp is legit. I mean, that was the biggest question moving into this, was how is Simp going to perform? Is he going to be good? Is he going to be great? Is he going to be fantastic? What's it going to be like? He obviously is good, which is a great sign for EUnited. I mean, you know, you could have gone to this and they could have tanked, and Simp could have played way below par, but he absolutely stepped up to the plate. He played fantastic, and EU should be extremely excited about having this dude on their roster. And I mean, if you're EUnited, you can't feel bad about the L. I mean, it sucks. You feel bad for Clayster. I mean, this dude needs to get another championship, man. It's been too long. Get this man a ship. I don't have too much to say about EUnited. I think they're still in great shape moving forward and are 100% one of the favorites to win Anaheim and moving forward being successful this season. When it comes to OpTic finishing third, dude, their whole event tilted on that one control match in the winners final. So it was on Arsenal. They had the man advantage in the round 5 of that control map, and they were up like, I think it was like 11-8 or something like that, with like a few seconds left in round 5 of that control on Arsenal, and they ended up losing it with like 0.3 seconds left on the clock. Like, that's rough, man. They had a few small mistakes there where it was like Crim felt like he was a little bit out of position on the stair. I don't know, he was maybe a little bit out of position on the stairs. I need to go look back on it, but they also seemed like they had a few specialist mistakes in those final few rounds where you're like, they could have used them a little bit better. And like, that's where this game, I mean, they're so impactful, you know, not using the Grav Slam well, or not using your Tempest or your War Machine well can literally change the tides of a game. So it just comes down to the specialist usage, I think, for OpTic, and a few small positional things. I'm sure they'll fix it. They're 100% one of the best teams this year. Like, nobody needs to worry about this. They should not be dropping TJ. They don't need to make roster changes. They're a good team. They're in good shape. So the next team is Envy. Obviously, they finished 4th. They're a roster that made changes. I mean, this has got to be a pretty positive finish for them, because I mean, going into it, I think everybody thought that there were a handful of teams that could finish in the top 4. For Envy to kind of rise to the top of that second tier of teams that we thought had a shot, I mean, it's not a bad finish for them. And coming off the roster change again, I don't think there's too much to worry about here. They need to continue to gel as a team, and they should be in good shape. Still a team that can really threaten to be an elite tier team. And again, absolutely fine moving forward. Don't have to worry about Envy like tanking or anything. I think they should be fine. So now we get kind of to the two surprises of the tournament with Heretics and Gen G. We all knew that some random team always seems to hop to the top, and it's usually one of those European teams when it's a European event. And so this year Heretics kind of outperformed kind of what their expectations were going into it. Admittingly, I probably need to do more film study on both of these teams. You know, I mean, when it comes to Gen G and Heretics, I mean, I don't have too much of an opinion on these guys. I refed Heretics back, you know, last year a lot, but this year I haven't seen as much of them. So it's definitely hard for me to speak on them because I just legitimately haven't been able to watch a lot of their film. I mean, good on them. Obviously, I'm going to be keeping an eye on them moving forward, and I think you guys should too. We don't have time to talk about every single team, but the last two teams I want to really hit on real quick are Luminosity, LG, you know, and FaZe. LG, man, they should not be finishing outside the top 6. Like, they have no reason to be finishing outside the top 6. When you have Formal, Gunless, and John on the same team, regardless of who the other two players are, you should be finishing in the top 6. And so for them, there has to be a problem or a change that needs to be made. And I think it's Classic. He just doesn't seem to fit anymore. I don't know what it is. He just seems to be out of place, not doing exactly what he needs to be doing to get the dubs. And I personally think if I was them, I'd be looking for a replacement for Classic down the road. I mean, who knows? They're gonna ride with him probably for a while here, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Classic making a change in the next few months. And then we got FaZe. All right, FaZe. The two teams, LG and FaZe, who had the dispute, who didn't win because of the control, who blamed it on that. I get it was really crappy. I mean, literally, they just announced today that they fixed it. They patched the issue with the control. So if you guys didn't see it, I mean, I'm sure you guys probably did, but if you guys somehow didn't, so basically Slacked grav slammed, I can't remember exactly who it was, 2 FaZe players right after time ran out, right after FaZe captured the zone on Seaside in control. So FaZe, in theory, should have won it because they captured the zone first. Apparently, the game was coded so that even if you captured the zone, it would prioritize the kills, even if it happened 1 or 2 seconds after the zone was captured. And literally they fixed that today, so now that if you capture the zone, you for sure win the game. So that really sucks. FaZe, literally if the game was played today, FaZe wins the game. So it's like, I don't know what to really say. Like, FaZe deservingly probably should have moved on, and they probably could have finished top 4, top 6 for sure. Who knows? There's not much to say else besides just give the team more time. Like, they kind of got screwed. Their vibes were all thrown off. Like, what are you going to do, you know? And they had roster changes. They're a new roster. Give them time. Let's see what they can do. They're definitely the team I'm probably most interested in watching moving forward, especially like going into Anaheim the rest of the season. So obviously we can sit here and talk about all the other teams, but we're just going to cap it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. Share the video if you guys really enjoy it. I really do appreciate it. As always, guys, I'm your boy SalvationsElite, and we will see you next time. I'm out.